Welcome, welcome. It's Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy bringing you another Star Citizen video. And today we're doing the interdiction ships of Star Citizen. So these are only the ships that are on the Matrix as interdiction ships. And first up, we're going to have the 325A. As I show you some of the stats and stuff from the stats page, we'll go back to that in between each one. This ship is made by Origin, and just because it's a rough galaxy doesn't mean you need to sacrifice your comfort. The 325A can come out on top in any dogfight. The 325A features an advanced weapons payload as well as a custom targeting system designed especially for the 325A by Wheels Op. Now, this ship is about 27 meters long, 17 wide, and 8 tall. It's got a small radar, small computer, and it's got a couple of fuel intakes. Origin likes putting some intakes on there. And then the main thruster, it's got 1 and 12 maneuvering gimbals. And then it's got a small power plant, small cooler, 2 small coolers, and 2 small shield generators. And comes with 2 Strife mass driver, or I'm sorry, a size 2 Strife mass driver in the front for the nose gun, and then 2 size 2 Omni Sky 6 laser cannons, and then also has 2 size 2 missiles. So yeah, this ship is a pretty fun ship. It's very maneuverable, fun to fly. As you can kind of see some of the pictures here I have of it. We rotate it around. It looks really nice inside. I like these updated 300 series ships from Origin. I think they did really well with the update, and they made them look fantastic. I love how the engine here looks, and you can kind of get a see on how maneuverable it is. Now the next ship on my list is the Cutlass Blue. I don't have a Cutlass Blue yet because it's not in the game. I mean, I have one, but it's not in the game. So the only thing I could really do is show you a little bit of the Cutlass Black and kind of tell you where the differences will lie. Now, the Cutlass Blue write-up says it's sleek, mean, and royal. The Cutlass Blue adds missiles, a more aggressive engine, and Durasteel holding cells in the cargo bay compared to the standard model. The Cutlass Blue is an Outworld militia standard ship of choice for patrols. It's 29 meters long, 21 meters wide, and 8 meters tall. This thing is almost, it's a little more than 3 times the mass of the 325A. It's slower, but it's pretty darn maneuverable. It comes with a medium radar, medium computer, medium on all the propulsion systems, 2 retro thrusters, 2 main thrusters, and 26 maneuvering thrusters. Comes with a medium power plant, 2 medium coolers, and a medium shield generator, which the medium shield generator can be a huge deal for these ships. It also comes with 4 size 2 Badger laser repeaters, size 3 broadsword turret, which means it has 2 on there, and then it has 6 size 2 missiles, and then 1 tractor beam, which is a little bit different than most of the other stuff we have in this ship series of interdictors. But it seems appropriate. This is kind of like your police version of the Cutlass, if you can call it that. Drake makes pretty good ships, but it still doesn't have an escape pod or ejection seat or anything like that, so you be mindful of that. But it's going to be pretty beastly in a fight, I feel. I like the Cutlass. I think it's a fantastic ship. It was in our medium fighter series, and this one is an interdicting ship, so kind of unique to the interdictors. Really good ship. As you can see back here, this is normally where the holding cells would be back in the back of the ship. As I turn around here, instead of just cargo area, it's going to be the holding cells, which you'll see in my next ship. Kind of what the holding cells will look like. And my next ship is actually going to be the Avenger Stalker and the Avenger Warlock. We'll show the Stalker first. The Stalker is initially designed as a frontline carrier for the military, so it's supposed to be a frontline ship, or it used to be way back when. The Stalker took a different path, ultimately having a long and storied career as a standard patrol craft for the Advocacy, which is the police force for the United Earth Empire. Utilizing its cargo hold as a prisoner transport, The Avenger features a sturdy, reliable hull and a capacity for larger than expected engine mounts. This is the standard Avenger chassis with the Stalker prisoner transport module pre-installed. So you automatically get it in the Stalker, as you still see some Cutlass footage here. And the Stalker is about 22.5 meters long, 16.5 meters wide, 5.5 tall. So it's the shortest so far, and it's actually the smallest so far, all the way up until we get to the very last one. This one is tiny compared to some of the others, but it's not super tiny. It's just smaller than all the others. Mass size, it's actually second smallest mass. It's one of the fastest. It's not quite as fast as the 325A, but it's not quite fast as the Buccaneer, but it's right. It's like 5 meters a second below on your afterburner speed. SEM speed, it might be the fastest. Well, I take that back. Saber Raven's going to be faster, but it's pretty close. It's number 2. Comes with small radar, small computer. All the propulsion stuff is small. Main thrusters, it's got 2 retro and 1 main, 8 gimbal maneuvering thrusters. It comes with a small power plant, 2 small coolers, 2 small shields, a size 3 Tiger Strike as the main weapon up front on the nose. It comes with 2 sucker punch distortion cannons on the wingtips. You can also get it with a size 3 ballistic Gatling and 2 lasers. I guess they just haven't decided on which loadout to go with. And then it comes with a set of missiles as well. Kind of differs from the Warlock in a couple of ways, and I'll get into that in a minute. As you see more stats here, you can run it down. It's the 3rd one. Sorry about that. I have a cat that insists on being in my lap for this video. So you can see some of the guns firing. I'm going to get out and we're going to walk to the back. I'll show you the back here, as I was promising you to show you the cells. So here's the bed and some other storage areas, and then back here are the cells. You've got 3 on each side, so a total of 6 holding cells. And of course the back opens up. This is also where the Warlock differs a little bit as well. So you can see I'm actually going to get in this one and close myself in it. Oh no, don't lock me up. So you see how the cells work. Of course, you know, hopefully whenever you're actually taking prisoners, they can't just open the door. That would be awful. And we'll go back in. The Avengers are good ships. They made them bigger recently, so it was a good upgrade to where they were before. So it's a really good ship. I like the way that it handles, and you know, it's got decent guns. Not my favorite ship on this list. I mean, if you look at the first 3, of course I think the Cutlass Blue is probably the best. The 325A is very well, it's very much able to handle itself in a fight. Avenger Stalker, I mean, it can handle itself in a fight for sure. Yeah, no doubts there. I would probably like the Avenger Warlock more, and the Avenger Warlock is outfitted with a Bearing Rep 8 EMP generator. It makes non-lethal suppression possible via the powerful electromagnetic wave that's capable of disabling any electronics within the blast radius. It's the standard chassis with the Warlock EMP module pre-installed. Same dimensions as the Stalker. It's a little slower. Okay, they knocked off 5 from the afterburner speed, 10 from the SEM speed. And still it has, you know, small computer, small radar, everything's small on the propulsion systems. Thrusters are all the same, gimbal maneuvering thrusters, etc. Now the power power plant, cooler, shield generator, all the same with the Stalker. The only thing different is the Sucker Punch, distortions, and the EMP device, which is a size 4 device. And I wish I could show it to you in the back of it, but for some reason it wasn't letting me go back there to show it to you. You'll see that here in a minute. You're still watching some Stalker video as I maneuver around. I like to fly near these asteroids just so that you can kind of see its maneuvering capability. Again, I'm not a fan of the flight model right now. Used to, you'd have really good control of your ships, and maybe the thruster output was too much is what some people complain about. Why are we complaining? I mean, you should have ultimate control of your ship, you know? I mean, there's artificial gravity on your ships. Why can't you do some sort of G-force compensator on the ships? You know, something to dial it down, like in the Star Wars universe where the inertial dampeners are kicked in to where you don't feel the G-forces as much. I mean, come on, we're far enough in the future. Maybe that should be a design of all the ships. And you should have more freedom of movement while you're traveling. Some ships should feel like you're moving a freight train or a boat. Yes, I agree 100%. 890 jump. It's a big ship. You shouldn't be able to maneuver it like a fighter. Starfarer, the same thing. It's not a fighter. You don't need to maneuver it like a fighter. But fighters need to maneuver like fighters. They need to be able to get position on each other. They need to be able to strafe. They need to be able to move up, down, left, right, roll, all pretty well. So, you know, I think that's just something that we should have in the game. I feel like that makes for a better flight model personally, but, you know, they don't pay me the money to do that. Actually, I don't get paid any money for this game. So, my 2 cents aren't worth 2 cents. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that the flight model needs to change. I'm not happy with where it's at, and a lot of people aren't. Of course, some people think that's the vocal minority. I don't know. Let's take a look at the back of the Warlock here. Again, you have the bed and everything else here on the left. But you should be able to get back here and walk through the EMP, but they won't let you. You can go in from the outside. I'm not going to show you that right now. But yeah, you could go in from the outside with a cargo hatch and go up there, and you can see the EMP spinning around in circles. It's pretty neat. I have a video for the Avenger Warlock out there, and you know, it's something that you can check out, and you can see that. So now we'll check out the maneuvering of the Warlock. It's not really any different than the Stalker, but you can actually check out this cool EMP. See how it forms this blue bubble around you, and then the bubble, once it's at its fullest, you can set it off and it expands and knocks out ships nearby for a few seconds, enough for you to start getting some damage on them. Could be effective against bigger ships as well to knock out certain components. You know, if you get near the right part of the ship, maybe knock out a turret, gun, a cooler, you know, some sort of propulsion system. So it could be pretty effective. Next up is the Vanguard Sentinel. I don't have the Vanguard Sentinel. I have a battlefield upgrade kit for it, so I can change out parts. So I'm just going to have to show you the Warden while I'm going over this. The Vanguard Sentinel is a ship that is designed to fight smart instead of taking enemies head on. This conversion features an AR cockpit, an external E-War pod, decoy missiles, and a set of EMP charges. So the Vanguard Sentinels often provide necessary combat support for combined operations. So you would pair this with Harbinger bombers and Warden escorts. They would all go out together and take on, you know, large attack missions. So yeah, you could send this out to go after, you know, smaller corvettes or gunships, and they would do a pretty effective job. These things are 38 meters long, 26.5 meters wide, and 9.5 tall, and they are the heaviest of all of our Interdictor ships. Just slightly heavier than the Cutlass Blue, I know it's kind of hard to imagine, but you know, it's got an extra it's got an extra 9 meters length over the Cutlass Blue, if you can imagine that. And it's even wider and taller. So if anybody wonders how big the Vanguards are compared to the Cutlass, they're bigger. So it makes sense that they're a heavy fighter. This is the Interdictor version. Very effective with its E-War stuff. Comes with a medium radar, 2 medium computers, all medium propulsion stuff, and then thrusters. It's got 2 retro, 6 main, 4 gimbaled maneuvering thrusters, 6 fixed maneuvering thrusters. Then it has 2 medium power plants, 2 medium coolers, and 2 medium shield generators. That's huge. Those shield generators are awesome. This thing can take a beating and still keep on going. If you guys want to play like Vandal Swarm, Pirate Swarm, choose a Vanguard. It won't let you down. Comes with a gimbaled size 4 laser mounted on the front, and then it's got its 4 size 2 repeaters in the nose as well, and 1 turret. Then it also has missiles as well, with the EMP missiles to go along with them. So Vanguard is I would say it's going to be an extremely effective interdiction ship. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be awesome. It's going to have the best of everything. As far as the interdiction ships come, I think this is going to be the best one. It's got the EMP generators, EMP missiles. It packs a punch in the front. It's got the armor and the shields of most of the Wardens. I mean, of the Vanguards. You know, if you play the Warden, it's going to be very similar in every respect. Yeah, I think it's going to be the best one out of all of the interdiction ships, without a doubt, in my mind. Next up, we have the Aegis Sabre Raven. The Sabre Raven is part of Aegis Dynamics Phase 2 of their new ship models. The Sabre was designed as a space superiority fighter for those situations where you need to leave a lighter footprint. They have raised the bar yet again with their Raven variant, maintaining all the speed and maneuverability of its Saber forebearer, but with a lower ship signature, making it fast, stealthy infiltrator. Now this ship is special for several reasons. One, you can't get it unless you were to participate in buying an Intel Optane drive a couple years ago, and that's the only way you can get it in game or in right now. They may not have any codes left, so it's a very limited time ship. It's very rare. It's 24 meters long, 20.5 wide, 5 tall. It's considered a small sized ship, but it's heavier than your Avengers, but not quite as heavy as the 325A. But it is the fastest ship and SCM speed out of all these. Not so much afterburner. Not sure why that is. Small radar, 2 small computers. It also has 2 small fuel intakes, small everything else except for the quantum fuel tanks. Those are medium, which is kind of surprising, but hey, you know, it's meant for long-range stealthy play. There's no bed in it, so don't expect to sleep in it. It's got 2 retro thrusters, 1 main, 8 gimbaled maneuvering thrusters, 3 small power plants. That's to help with the EMP generators. 2 small coolers, 4 small shield generators. That's huge. All those shield generators. That can be a big difference. It has 2 size 3 corollary laser cannons. You don't want to get into a fight in this thing. It's not going to be able to do the damage you need for you to survive the fight. But it does have 2 size 4 EMP generators, and those will most definitely help you survive fights. If you get close enough to ping somebody with those, you're going to shut them down, and then you can get out of there. At least that would be the goal of most people who are flying the ship. This is kind of like a spy ship in my theory it is, or you're going to be running it with a fleet of ships, and it's just going to get in, boom in, EMP people, get out. I mean, that's how I would fly it in a battle, a large-scale battle. Love the way this ship looks. It looks awesome even without 1 wing, and yeah, I think it's great. And then the last ship is the Drake Buccaneer. The Buccaneer has been designed from ground up to fly and fight the way you live. No leather interiors or hyper pillows here. The Buck is a scrapper designed to maneuver and fight above its weight class. The rough and tumble frontier fighter can be maintained in the worst of conditions in order to keep real working space crews alive, and I love the Buccaneer. It's actually slightly faster than the Raven. I'm sorry, it's 280 meters a second, and it needs to be because it can't take a punch. It's 15 meters long, 16 wide, 4.5 tall. It's the lightest ship out of all these interdictors. Small avionics, everything's small on the propulsion. 2 retro thrusters, 2 main thrusters, 24 maneuvering thrusters. So it's highly maneuverable. 1 small power plant, 2 small coolers, 2 small shield generators, and then it comes with 2 size 2 Badger repeaters, 2 size 1 longsword ballistic cannons, a turret with 2 size 2 tarantulas. Then it's got missiles as well, some rattlers, which are pretty nasty missiles. The Buccaneer is an awesome little ship. Problem is it just doesn't take a punch right now. You're really going to want to max out the shields on this thing so that you can survive combat. I love this ship for its maneuverability and the firepower that it puts on other ships. It's, you know, for its size, it punches way above its weight. You just can't take a punch. So this is the Interdiction ship comparison. Guys, I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, hit the bell to let you know whenever I am doing another video. I've got other information down below on my org. We're always recruiting new people that are cool, that want to participate. And then if you're new to the game or want to be new to the game, there's a referral code down there that you guys can use too. It helps you out, helps me out. You get 5,000 free credits. So hey man, that'll help you early on in the game. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy. I'll see you guys out in the verse.